this is Doris and welcome to my first ever booktube video. I'm glad you're here. I've been thinking about this for a while now. I've been watching booktube for maybe 3 months and I keep in the back of my mind thinking, oh my gosh, I would have loved booktube when I was a teenager. And then last week it just came to me. I had this revelation that you can do booktube. Why not? I mean, I truly detest being in front of the camera. I'd rather be behind it, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to join the party, right? So I'm gonna join Cramathon. It is December 16th through the 23rd, which will be perfect for me because the 21st is my last day of school. I'm a public school teacher, and so yeah, the second half of Cramathon I will be free and easy, and I'm planning on reading. So I'm joining April at Aprilius Maximus. I just adore her. She's got such enthusiasm for books and reading, and as a teacher I appreciate that so much. And I'm joining Whitney, who her channel is somewhat new to me. I learned of it through Cramathon. But I've been watching some of her videos and I really like her snarkalicious edge. It's super fun. So, gonna have a good time reading that week and cramming in a few more books for the year. The purpose of Cramathon is to catch up on your reading goals for the year, which I'm actually doing really well on, or to get through some of the books that have been sitting around, which is what I'm going to focus on. So, I have my list, haha, and let's just get to it. The first one that I have is Humblebee Bumblebee. I got this book a couple years ago now. I got it off Amazon used, and I was in a wildflower photography, bug photography phase at the time, and I thought that I was going to move into a wildflower gardening phase because I'm not gonna lie, I do phases, but it turns out I was probably a little too lazy for that phase, the gardening phase. But I still want to read the book, and hopefully it will spur me on to be a wildflower gardener this summer, maybe. But the first goal that I'm going to tackle is, the first challenge is a book with pictures, and this one has some lovely scientific bumblebee pictures. Ooh, there's one. Look at that. And I think the reading is like semi-scientific and written in a fun way. But either way, I was a biology major back in the day, so I'm going to love this. I adore bumblebees. And the next book challenge is something that's been sitting around for a while, which would definitely be this one. I grabbed this at a friend's house. It was on her son's summer reading list and he had finished it. And I said, can I take that home? And they said, sure. So I took it home, and it's been sitting in my house 3 or 4 years now. And I just want to get it done and move on. The House of the Scorpion. I think it's going to be a really good one. I don't know if it's a middle grades or just young adult. But the author is a 3-time Newbery Honor winner. And this won 3 awards. So truly, it must be a good book. I don't remember if it's kind of science fiction, I think, a little bit. Dystopian, maybe a little bit. But it's been so long since I read the book jacket that I don't remember. But I'm going to get it done. This one I picked up from the high school library. And I think this one is raging in popularity right now. This is supposed to meet the challenge of a book from another country. It's pretty much a cheat because I'm from the United States, if you didn't tell by my accent, and I'm from the Deep South, if you didn't tell that from my accent. But this book is set in the United States, but the main characters are, one is a Jamaican immigrant who is, her family's about to be deported, and the other is a Korean American. And I think I'm really going to enjoy it because I'm an ESL teacher, so it's right up my alley. So that's my book from another country, sort of. The next one is a graphic novel or manga, and I don't really read those that much, either one. Not really ever, unless you count Calvin and Hobbes, which I'm sure you wouldn't. But I picked this one up from a coworker. We share a classroom. She teaches reading intervention. I teach ESL, and one of my students is also in her room. So I've been watching him reading this, and it's kept him occupied for several weeks. And so I really think, you know, it must be an intriguing book because he's not a big reader, but this one has pulled him in. So yeah, I think that's going to be good. My Friend Dahmer. And the challenge of a book with less than 200 pages, Tales of the Peculiar. I just finished the 3rd Library of Souls of the Miss Peregrine series, and this is a companion novel, short stories, and I think I'm just gonna enjoy a little more time in that peculiar world. It is truly fascinating. And then the last 2 challenges are to read 7 books in 7 days and to read 2 books in 1 day. I think the 2 books in 1 day won't be a problem at all because I've got a lot of short books here, and like I said, I'll have several days off. And then for my other 2 books, just to round out the 7 books, I have Shadow and Bone. This is a trilogy. It's been very popular. I actually grabbed it because Six of Crows has been recommended to me by one of the high school students. And when I realized this was a semi-prequel, I thought I would read these first because I tend to not like reading prequels once I've read the main thing. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I have all 3 of these. I don't know which one I'll read during Cramathon because I'm planning on starting this one hopefully tonight. So I may be on the 2nd or 3rd by the time Cramathon comes along. But I think these will go quickly for me because I tend to power through fantasy series. So even though this is a little longer than my other picks for this week-long Cramathon, I think it's entirely doable. And then my last book is 11/22/63 by Stephen King. I'm going to do that one on e-reader. This one has been lingering in my life for about 3 years now too. I guess it's either not completely engrossing for me or I just haven't picked it up in a real reading rhythm, because every time I get it, I just don't get it finished before it has to go back to the library. So this will be my 3rd time getting it, and I just want to finish. So in case you were wondering, if you're not familiar with that one, it's not a horror book at all, even though it's Stephen King. It's a time travel, and they're going back in time to try to prevent the Kennedy assassination. So, I mean, it's a really interesting concept. So, those are my 7 books for Cramathon, and if you're doing Cramathon, please leave a comment, especially if you have a video, so I can check it out, and maybe we can spur each other on to great things. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I will be back soon.